A superstar series is right here. We're talking to Rajiv Mehta of Puma India, straight from B School to the CEO chair.
Rajiv Mehta is not like any other regular businessman. Adventure, risk and thrill mark his every move. Rajiv is an adventure sports enthusiast. Water rafting, paragliding to golf, he loves them all. He believes in living life on the edge. Armed with an MBA and a few years of experience, Rajiv set out to launch Puma in India from scratch. This young business honcho has big plans for Puma India and he won't rest until he makes it the #1 sports and lifestyle brand here.
Okay, Rajiv, welcome to the show. Thanks for joining us live from Bangalore. Well, starting from scratch but going straight to the CEO chair. I mean, how many Indians get to become a CEO on day one of graduation? How did that happen?
I think it was fascinating later on, but initially it was more of a surprise and shock, and sort of like puts you in a tizzy, saying that now what am I going to do? Because when the profile came to INSEAD, it said that, you know, needed to be minimum 35 years of age, blah blah, needed to come from a sporting goods background, and I didn't have either of it. So I said, you know, what's the harm? Let's apply. And when I applied and I spoke to the headhunter, I think he liked me and he put me in touch with the Puma people. And then one thing led to the other. I was flown to Dubai for an interview. And then finally, they gave me an offer and they said, okay, you can go and start. And I said, what am I supposed to do? They said, nothing, start the company. I mean, the company is not even formed. So your first job is to form the company and then hire the people.
Okay, so to start with, you were the CEO, the marketing manager, the salesman, all together?
Exactly. So when you start, you're doing everything possible for the company, and then slowly as people come on board, and probably it took me 1.5 to 2 years to relinquish one after the other everything that was on my plate. So yeah, it was you're right, doing everything possible.
Right, let's get down to business. Since you've managed some years now, where does your business stand today, and are Puma's numbers telling you that business is good in India?
Definitely, you know, we became profitable in 3 years or less. We are growing at 45% year on year, and we maintain that for the next 2 to 3 years to come. We have beaten one of the strongest American sports brand in terms of market share, and we today hold about anywhere between 15 to 18% market share in the organized sports goods industry. So I think it's been a fantastic run. We've got 145 stores already running, and you know, the sales numbers are very satisfying, both for India as well as for international, and they are betting a lot on India and putting behind us and the team a lot more investing and a lot more money.
Right, you know, you're in a very competitive market, really, and in a sense, many believe you're not selling a product but selling a lifestyle. How confident are you of delivering, and how do you go about delivering?
I think it's the perfect juxtaposition of having a sport which is lifestyle and lifestyle which can also be sport, because Indians as a consumer are not really the hardcore athletic people, so they prefer something which can transcend between their morning gym and at the same time you know, probably wear to parties. So I think it's a line, or it's the fact that you are allowed to do that when you are in a Puma gear or a Puma attire. I think that's what has worked for us. But the biggest strength is that the designs are fresh, the colors are very vibrant, and it's something very different than what is being offered by the others in the market. So that's
Shurj, I don't want you to do a sales pitch out there. I want to get down to the challenges. As a young CEO, I mean, you're almost an entrepreneur since you started something new out here with practically no backing, no understanding of the sector. How did you manage to convince clients and customers? I mean, all of them must be much older than you. Did they take you seriously?
I think you're absolutely right. The challenges were many initially. One is that whenever you're sitting in a meeting with a customer or a franchisee or a distributor, none of them would take you seriously. Oh, the brand is coming the second time, and okay, there's a kid sitting in front of me, he's not even 30, doesn't come from the industry, I don't know what he's going to do. So everyone has that skeptical look on their face. Secondly, internally it also was initially a struggle. You know, when I'm recruiting people, there are people who would say, oh, I don't think I can report to you. Or, oh, you don't have any experience, how do you think you're going to run the brand? And people were very blatantly asking me that question and sort of reverse interviewing me rather than me interviewing them for a job. So those were the initial challenges. And I think when you're a brand which is coming into the market for a second time, and also when you're taking over from a licensee, the challenge also comes on the retail or the business front, that, you know, how will you find the location where you will not, you know, go under, or will this location work?
Okay, that's fascinating stuff. Tell us who your big advisors were, who were your mentors, who did you want to emulate in life?
I think at different stages of my life, I had different people. So when I was doing my masters in the US at UPenn, I had a senior of mine who was doing a PhD, and some of the early on life's lessons about, you know, how to you know, not take everything so seriously, and just to chill out a bit in life, and how to you know, network with people, and how to just be a little bit more outspoken, was something that I learned from him. And then as I came back to India, I think my father played a big role in encouraging me and taking up this job, and he helped me initially for the first few years, just everything, because he is a businessman, and any problem that I had, I would go to him and ask him, you know, that is it possible to do it this way or that way. So I think my father's been a very strong support.
I guess all of us can say that our big daddy is always around, but let me talk about the real world where you're alone, where you have to deal with people in the IPL, for example, where Puma is trying to showcase plenty of its gear with 2 teams, I guess, at the moment, Rajiv. You were planning an expansion. Is that coming through, getting more teams that Puma will supply stuff to?
Definitely, you're right. It's a big part of our branding, and one of the reasons we decided to do IPL was, again, it was a perfect blend of sport, lifestyle and entertainment, and that fits the Puma image completely. So we decided to go with one team initially, and we had the opportunity to sign a second one, so we did it. We also tried to sign a third team this year, but then pulled out because of, we said that let's try and service the teams we have, and probably in 2012 we will definitely look at a third team. For sure. Okay,
so let's just get the other side of you, the side that you actually face in the mirror. What does money mean to you?
I think money for me is to have as much possible to give your family a life which is comfortable from the point of view of education, because education has taught me where I am. So tomorrow if I have a family which tells me that I want to go to Harvard, I should have enough money to be able to support him or her to go to Harvard.
Okay, let's rephrase this a little bit. How important was money when you started out?
I think on the first job I completely undersold myself, so I was very happy getting whatever I was getting. The excitement was more about the job and the kind of job I was doing, so money was not really that much of an issue for me.
Well, I know that ET now doesn't sort of relay in Germany, but your boss hearing that you undersold yourself would be pretty interested with that one. 2 things that you're going to do before you die, Rajiv, and I know you're quite a sports person.
I would like to climb Mount Kilimanjaro, definitely one day, and I would like to drive a Formula 1 car at Skip Barber's racing school in California.
Okay, I know you're a big shopper, and I can see you sporting a Puma t-shirt as well. Do you have all of Puma gear?
Except for the women's apparel, I think I have most of everything, yes.
Alright, Raji, thanks so much for joining us on the show live from Bangalore. Pleasure chatting with you, and that's about the time we have on this edition of Business Tonight.
That's right, Superstar Achievers is a series here on ET Now. All those who are making it big early in life. Well, that's a wrap on the show. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.